Pakistan economy on the edge of collapse, why India may be worried. Pakistan is having some money problems and it's been happening for a while. This is kind of like when Sri Lanka had trouble with money and politics. The money that Pakistan uses, called Pakistani rupee, is worth less than before and things like gas cost more money now. People in Pakistan are having a hard time getting the things they need. Some people are wondering if this will cause problems for India too. Pakistan's money situation has not been very good for a while now. But the situation is worse than ever before and it might completely fall apart. The World Bank said that even though Pakistan has reduced poverty in the past 20 years, other important things like people's health and education haven't improved much. On top of that, the country's money has been unpredictable and not growing very fast. This report came out in October last year. Let us see the reason behind this. 1. Debt. The World Bank said that Pakistan owes a lot of money to other countries, and the amount they owe went up a lot recently. They now owe more than $130 billion. That's a lot of money. In September 2022, they owed almost $127 billion. This is a big problem because it means Pakistan owes more money than it makes. Right now, they have to use almost half of the money they make to pay the interest on the loans they took. One report said that out of all the money Pakistan owes to other countries, most of it is from loans they took from China. 2. Pakistan inflation at 48-year high. A lot of things in Pakistan cost more money now than they used to. This is called inflation. In January, the amount of inflation was the highest it has been in almost 50 years. Bloomberg said that one reason for this is that the government stopped bringing in food, supplies, and other things from other countries. Recently, inflation got even worse and things cost almost 28% more now than before. When inflation is high, the money that people use to buy things becomes weaker and can't buy as much as it used to. This is making people worried about the money that Pakistan uses, called the rupee. 3. Fall in Pakistani rupee has become weaker compared to the US dollar. This means that if someone wants to buy something from another country, they will need more Pakistani rupees than before. On January 26, the rupee became much weaker in just one day, the weakest it has been in more than 20 years. Some people think that this might make the International Monetary Fund, IMF, give Pakistan some money to help. Recently, Pakistan decided to stop controlling how much the rupee is worth. Because of this, the rupee became even weaker in just a few days of trading. 4. Foreign exchange reserves at a new low. Pakistan doesn't have a lot of money saved up to buy things from other countries. In January of this year, they only had $4.3 billion left in their savings, which is the lowest it has been since 2014, according to Al Jazeera. They had to use some of this money to pay back other countries that they borrowed money from. The State Bank of Pakistan, SBP, said that there are some other banks in Pakistan that have some money saved up too, about $5.8 billion. But even with that, Pakistan doesn't have a lot of money saved up. In total, they have only about $10.1 billion left that they can use to buy things from other countries. The SBP said that as of January 20, 2023, Pakistan's money that they can use to buy things from other countries, called foreign reserves, was $9.45 billion. 5. Political crisis. The constant political chaos in Pakistan is causing problems because it is hard for the government to make decisions and take action. It is worth noting that no Pakistani prime minister has ever served a full 5-year term in office. Shehbaz Sharif took over from Imran Khan in 2022, and since then, Imran Khan has been trying very hard to bring down the Sharif government. Even though he is no longer the prime minister, Imran Khan is still very popular, and this has led some people to wonder if the Pakistan army might split. The political instability in Pakistan is a problem for the future too. The current government's time in office will end in August, and then a special caretaker government will take over for up to 90 days to make sure that the next election is fair. However, this caretaker government is not allowed to sign an agreement with the International Monetary Fund, IMF. This raises the question of whether the government and the opposition can work together to agree to any demands from the IMF in order to avoid defaulting on their loans, as reported by Reuters. 6. Pakistan's tense relations with India. The troubled relationship between Pakistan and India is hindering Pakistan from benefiting from a potentially significant trading and investment partner. As per a report by Hindustan Times, in the year 2020 to 2021, the total trade between India and Pakistan was $329 million. This number increased to $514 million in 2021 to 2022, according to the Ministry of Commerce, with Indian exports exceeding imports from Pakistan. What Pakistan needs to do now? Pakistan is seeking to secure funds from a $7 billion bailout through the IMF to avoid an economic collapse. Talks between Pakistan and the IMF began on January 31, with hopes that the disbursements will resume. However, the IMF is expected to demand significant belt-tightening, which may be unpopular among voters already dealing with high inflation and fewer job prospects. The IMF previously granted Pakistan a $6 billion bailout in 2019, which was increased by another $1 billion last year. The current talks aim to clear the IMF's ninth review of the extended fund facility. According to analysts, if the disbursements do not arrive by June, there may be a 6-month gap before the new government takes office, leaving Pakistan short of funds and pushing its population of 220 million to the brink. How much money does Pakistan require? Pakistan needs $20 billion over the next 12 months to make payments arising from debt obligations. The country's former finance minister suggested that Islamabad should try to get more long-term loans from the countries and institutions it owes a lot to. China and Saudi Arabia have pledged $9 billion to help Pakistan for flood recovery, but private sources are needed for Pakistan to climb out of the crisis. IMF funds and aid programs can help, but global bodies like the IMF need to improve the framework for sovereign debt financing to help emerging market economies. Should India be worried? According to an activist, residents of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, POK, are fed up and ready to join India due to issues with the cost of wheat, flour and rice. If this happens, it could cause law and order problems in India, and it is speculated that India's exports to Pakistan could also be impacted. Additionally, the economic crisis in Pakistan may increase Chinese influence in the country, which could indirectly or directly affect India due to the ongoing tensions between India and China at the line of actual control, LAC.